Hi YouTube, and welcome to the Mocha Nia Show. This is Mocha, and today we're going to discuss the truth behind Aaliyah and R. Kelly. Within this video, we'll discuss things like their supposed marriage, their relationship, and we'll also hear from individuals like R. Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, as well as several individuals from R. Kelly's inner circle. I think it's important to acknowledge that, Aaliyah is in heaven, so God rest her soul. Aaliyah was just so amazing and beautiful and talented, and it's such a loss not to have her on this earth now. I would love to hear new music from Aaliyah, but in the meantime, I'm still just rocking her music like I did back then, and I enjoy it, and I love her so very much. So we're hoping that throughout all of this, that Aaliyah can finally get the justice that she deserves. So sit back and enjoy. So to start out, we're going to go back to August 31st, 1994, and that's when R. Kelly marries a 15-year-old Aaliyah. They were married at the Sheraton Gateway Suites, a hotel in Rosemont, by the Reverend Nathan J. Edmond of Chicago. R. Kelly was 27 and Aaliyah was 15, though a falsified Cook County marriage certificate has her age listed as 18. What's important to note about this is R. Kelly's ex-friend, ex-manager, Demetrius Smith, he admitted in the Lifetime documentary to helping R. Kelly and Aaliyah obtain a fake ID in order for her to go through with the marriage. The ID was an actual legitimate state ID. However, whenever they bribed this worker at the DMV to create this ID, they had them change the date, her date of birth, on that ID, so she was old enough to obtain the marriage certificate. In this next clip, I'm going to show you a copy of the marriage license, and I've circled in red where it shows her age as 18 on the marriage license, though we now know that at the time that she signed this, she was actually 15 years of age. Now we're going to go to 2 months later, in October of 1994, when R. Kelly's marriage to Aaliyah is annulled. Their lawyers reach a settlement that involves R. Kelly and Aaliyah signing agreements stating that neither will ever speak of the marriage or relationship. The records in the Wayne County Circuit Court are sealed, though the Sun-Times later obtains a copy. As part of the annulment, it included a settlement with a nominal payment of $100 from R. Kelly to Aaliyah. Aaliyah promised not to pursue further legal action related to emotional distress caused by any aspect of her business or personal relationship with Robert, or for physical injury or emotional pain and suffering arising from any assault or battery perpetrated by Robert. What's really important about this statement is, we hear everyone mention a lot about, Aaliyah's mom has never admitted to this relationship or marriage, and while Aaliyah was on this earth, she never admitted to it either. But this pretty much clears that up. Aaliyah was not allowed to speak on the relationship or marriage. She wasn't allowed to pursue any sort of legal action against R. Kelly in the future related to any of it either. So that's the biggest reason as to why she wasn't going to discuss it at any point. Also, as many of you already know, Aaliyah and her family received a good portion of R. Kelly's royalties for his music in return for staying quiet whenever it came to the details surrounding the relationship and the annulment. In late 1997, the marriage is expunged. Aaliyah files a motion to expunge the falsified marriage certificate from the Cook County court records. Years later, Aaliyah's mother tells the Sun-Times, everything that went wrong in her life began then. And she's implying there that the relationship between Aaliyah and R. Kelly, everything that went wrong was when R. Kelly stepped into her life. I think that statement from Aaliyah's mother is very powerful because we do not hear her discuss it at all nowadays. And to know that she did tell the Sun-Times that years after the marriage was annulled, I think it says a lot about how she felt about the entire situation between Aaliyah and R. Kelly. In this next clip, we're going to see Steve Greenberg, R. Kelly's defense attorney, and he's going to acknowledge that R. Kelly did marry Aaliyah. However, he states that R. Kelly was unaware of Aaliyah's age whenever they were married. Right after that clip, you will see a video of Rob in the studio with Aaliyah prior to their marriage, And he admits that at the time that she's in the studio recording the song, that she was 14 years of age.
He absolutely does.
Was he married to Aaliyah when she was 15?
He was married to her when she was 15.
But so then 15 is not of the age of legal consent, right? I mean...
Right, except that my understanding is that she did not claim to be 15. And in order to get married, she had to lie about her age.
And he is saying that he had no idea.
No idea.
Right now, I'm producing a very talented lady, young lady. She's 14, Aaliyah. She's 14, Aaliyah.
Now we've seen R. Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, admit to the marriage. But why don't we get some additional insight about the relationship between R. Kelly and Aaliyah from R. Kelly's inner circle? First up, we're going to have Dana J., and he's doing an interview with Phases, and he's going to discuss more specifics about the relationship.
What about Aaliyah? You cannot mention Aaliyah for 3 reasons. 1, she's not here to defend herself. That's it. 2, I believe with my whole heart, if Kels really knew her real age, that wouldn't have happened. And I'm not going to go too deep into it because that's a dark situation that a person got sucked into, and before he knew it, it was too late to get out.
Very talented lady, young lady. She's 14, Aaliyah. She's 14, Aaliyah.
So you guys heard it from Dana firsthand, but we'll give him another chance to discuss the Aaliyah situation during a different conversation. Let's see what he says this time.
I had somebody come and tell me, "Oh, Dana, how can you defend a pedophile?" I'm gonna ask this question: outside of the mishap that happened with Aaliyah, can y'all prove that he slept with anybody that was underage?
Okay, guys, so we heard it from Dana again for the second time. And in that clip, he referred to R. Kelly messing with Aaliyah as a mishap and said, with the exception of that mishap, can we name any other underage girls that R. Kelly messed with? I don't think you need to read between the lines here, people. I think it's very obvious and clear what he's saying. But just in case, we still have some naysayers out there. Let's listen to it this time from R. Kelly's ex-bodyguard. His name is Kipp, and this is a video, a Facebook video that he had with Dana, where he discusses the relationship.
And the only underage girl that he messed with on my tenure, she was underage, was Aaliyah. But guess what? Like I said before, when you got an uncle, you got a father, and a mother right there, right? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Right? And not only
That's
that,
saying it's
hold on,
okay.
Watch this. What am I supposed to do? Hey, bro, they knew they were there. I even went to Barry one time and said, "Hey, bro, I don't like what I'm seeing going on between Robin and Leah after y'all leave the studio." I said, "I don't know why I'm supposed to be saying this. I put the company that I work for in jeopardy by losing the client." Right? He goes, "Oh yeah, we know, we watching it. We know about it."
Okay, well, now we have Kipp admitting it as well. So let's go ahead and get some more evidence just so we can make certain that we are driving this one home. And we are going to hear from Kipp yet again. This time it's during a Facebook interview with Marcus Divine, and he gets pretty emotional and lets out some stuff that has just been weighing on his heart and his mind. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yes, I gotta confess that I can't keep that. I can't lie, brother. I can't lie. To keep that inside of me, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I love Leah too. Leah was like a little sister to me. You know what I'm saying? I remember she was 13 years old running around the studio when she was making her first album with dude. But see, I thought that, and I might have to hold my tongue a little bit, but some people knew, bro. People knew. Family members knew. You know what I'm saying? I haven't talked to nobody else I wish I could have did more to help her, bro. For real. That's the only thing that I got some stuff that I want to say. That I wish I could help her. I wish I could have convinced Diana Michael about some things, man, but her family was around and I didn't understand.
All right, so let's just recap. We have 5 separate clips from individuals that are close to R. Kelly who are admitting that R. Kelly did have a relationship with Aaliyah. I think it is very obvious. There are substantial facts that support this, many of which I've included in this video. And our goal here is really just to put the truth out there. That's why we're here, is to put the truth out there. And we're not here to say that Dana doesn't support R. Kelly, Kipp doesn't support him, whoever. We're not here to say that. Ultimately, what we're trying to say is that we want people to be honest and provide an appropriate and accurate narrative to their followers because they deserve that. And I don't think it's fair to them to hear one thing from these bloggers about how they feel about the Aaliyah and R. Kelly situation now, yet if you go back on their platforms from 10 months ago, you find that they're saying something completely different. And I feel like that's a problem. I think we just need to be honest, and it doesn't mean that you support R. Kelly any less. You just need to be honest. Otherwise, you look like an enabler. And that's not fair to the public. There are people that trust a lot of you, and they rely on you for accurate information. And I think it's important that you make certain that you're giving them that accurate information. One more thing that I want to point out here is once Dana dropped the clip of the video with him and Kipp on his channel, there were supporters in his comments saying that they felt as though Dana was wrong for putting out that clip because it's incriminating to R. Kelly, and they wanted to hide the information. They wanted to dispose of those clips immediately because they didn't want them out in the public. That makes those individuals enablers as well. If you were trying to hide the truth to protect R. Kelly, then you were also in the wrong. If you feel he did nothing wrong, there should be no reason to hide information. And that's the bottom line. You can't keep making excuses for someone's bad behavior. Demetrius Smith, as I mentioned previously, he is a person that was a friend of R. Kelly's for a very long time. He was also a manager at one point. They no longer have a relationship. However, he did admit in the Lifetime documentary that he helped Aaliyah and R. Kelly. He took them to obtain the fake ID in order for Aaliyah to go through with the marriage. So as a result of that, within the last week or so, prosecutors have added a charge to R. Kelly's indictment. And according to prosecutors, they're saying that the fake ID purchased constitutes bribery. And as a result of that, the allegation has been added to his racketeering charges against him in the Eastern District of New York. I think there's a lot of discrepancies out there because people feel as though Demetrius should be the one held accountable for this. But the bottom line is that Demetrius didn't marry Aaliyah. He may have driven the vehicle to take them to the county building in order to get the fake ID, but Demetrius doesn't have the level of fame or notoriety that R. Kelly does. So him going into a DMV to bribe someone is not going to be as effective as it would be for someone like R. Kelly. So regardless of whether Demetrius was the one who facilitated this or not, R. Kelly was the leader of the enterprise. And we see that a lot in the indictment documentation. You can go view those indictment documents online on the Department of Justice website. And I think it's really necessary that all of you do go read the indictment papers online. They're very informative, and I think it'll help you to better understand the ins and outs of this case. Again, we're not here to convict R. Kelly. Yes, we understand that he is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. However, I am not the court of law, so I have the right to have an opinion just like you do. And the goal of the Mocha Nia show is really just to get information out to the public that is factual, that can be validated, and that's really important to us. So regardless of which case we're speaking about or situation, we will always provide facts to support the narrative that we're providing to you. And regardless of who you're listening to on the supporter side or the non-supporter side, it is absolutely necessary to get facts and to be able to validate those facts. So we have reached the end of the video, the very first video for the Mocha Nia show. I hope this was informative. I hope it helped you to better understand the relationship between R. Kelly and Aaliyah. And I hope that you feel like we brought you sufficient facts to support the information that we provided today. That's our goal, and we promise to bring you much more of that in the future. And to wrap this video up, I chose this picture of Aaliyah. I felt like she was just absolutely stunning in this picture. It can remind us of Aaliyah when she was younger. And I think it's so important to just look at this picture and realize that we are talking about a young woman that was put in this situation. She was growing into a woman. She was still a child. We can all think back to when we were 15 years old, and I can tell you now that I was not ready to be in a marriage at 15, especially to a much older man. And the unfortunate part of all of this is this beautiful young soul was not protected by those around her. And regardless of what side we're on, there's no reason that we shouldn't be able to come together and align on the fact that we are not protecting our young Black girls, and something has to change. So if this is something that you are passionate about, please like, share, subscribe, comment. We would love to hear your feedback. And Nia and I will be releasing many more videos in the future on this topic, as well as many others. So please subscribe, stick around, and we'd love to have you participate in our channel. If you have any ideas for videos or additional information that you'd like, please don't hesitate to leave that information as well. We thank you so much for tuning into our video, and we will see you in the next one. This is Mocha signing out for the Mocha Nia Show.